You are tuned to Kennett, Zenith, Cablevision. Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Oh my, do you see, this is the last of April, and do you see cantaloupes blooming? John, this is incredible. When were these planted?
About 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay. Who in your company says, how do you know exactly planting time? Is that up to you?
No, that's my brother Leonard and Ted.
Do you see these cantaloupe blooms? Look at that. You see those blooms? See these beautiful plants, plastic. You know, my garden doesn't ever look like this.
We have an irrigation tape underneath it here, so whenever we go to irrigate, the water actually goes underneath the plastic, and that's how we get water to the plants.
And that's why they're doing so well. Now, what all do you have planted already?
We've got watermelons planted and cantaloupe and sweet corn.
Okay.
Would you like to go see a field of watermelons?
Watermelons? Have you? Is it near?
Yes, it is.
Here, we're not far out of town. I didn't realize there were things like that. Let's go look at watermelon.
This is a field of watermelons we have planted. And
how many acres are we talking here?
There's about 60.
Okay. All right.
And we planted these about 2-3 weeks ago, and they're doing fine. They're getting ready to. Some of them are actually setting blooms. And as you can see here, here's an example of that T-tape that we use underneath the plastic to irrigate with. And whenever we, this is a coupling here actually that connects that tape. And,
now, is this reusable? Can you use that again next year? Do you save the?
No, actually what we do is it can be recycled.
Okay.
The plastic, right. And then we purchase new.
You have to buy it. You have to buy
new every year. Yes, ma'am.
It's not worthwhile to fill with all the coils.
If your plants ever happen to have a disease in them, you don't want to use that plastic that could carry. You know, if it gets dirt on it, you don't want it carrying back out into your fields.
Yeah.
And so you want to kind of alternate there. But
now you mentioned watermelons and showed us some watermelons that he has that you raised on your farm in.
Yeah, we've got 300 acres in Florida right now we're harvesting on.
Okay, and they sent you up some, and
yep.
I think we get to take a couple home, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, now what kind are they? Now they're the little ones.
Seedless watermelons, yes.
Okay, now where do you get these plants?
Actually, there's a plant house in Georgia. We get them from. There's a plant house there, and there's also.
These are seedless, the small seedless.
Seedless,
like
with some seed.
from Florida.
Yeah, and seeded pollinators.
Okay.
Would you like to see the watermelons we're harvesting from Florida?
Oh, I would.
Okay.
I would. All right. Thank you. So you brought these in your back pocket?
Well, yeah, I brought a bin down for the crew that's working pretty hard for us.
That is great. Oh my, this is great. And you're going to raise all this size all around
well,
here.
Actually, these are the small ones in the batch. The big ones are going out to retailers right now, and these are kind of the spares that we have. That the smaller ones that we don't actually put in the bins, they go out to our retailers.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, that's. Now we'd call these culls, but they look too nice.
Oh, they're pretty good inside. They're pretty sweet.
So look what he put in our car for us to take home. See, this is the kind of thing you do. Thank you very much. That's
welcome.
Great.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
Listen, we really have come upon a great farm operation here. This is Tommy McMahon. And,
yes.
And you're what's your title now?
I'm the farm manager for Frey Brothers.
And that means that you get to just work 24 hours at a time.
About 14 hours a day.
Okay.
7 days a week.
Now tell me what's coming along here.
This is what we call a 3-row transplanter. We have 6 people working on the back of the transplanter. What this does, it pokes a hole in the plastic, injects fertilizer and water into the hole, and they manually put the plants in the hole one at a time.
Hey, we've got to hurry if we beat them here.
Yeah, we'll get up there behind them. We'll get up behind them. We'll let you see what's going on.
All right, good. All right, describe what's going on here.
Okay, what they're doing is manually, this machine pokes a hole in the plastic, injects fertilizer and water, and each hole they're putting a plant in, inserting it into the soil.
Are these cantaloupes?
These are cantaloupes.
Okay. So the machine is putting down what? Fertilizer and
water, and pokes a hole in the plastic for a hole to inject that plant into.
And you've got 6 people that are poking holes in that.
Yes,
now,
ma'am.
I'm also looking across at a man over there with a shovel.
Well, he's repairing plastic from that 40-mile-an-hour wind the other day we had. That some of the plastic got loose. So it's a continuous battle with this wind.
Oh, it beat all my sweet pepper plants,
Yes,
my
ma'am.
banana pepper plants to pieces.
Yeah, but that's why I
Okay.
say it's a constant battle with this wind and this sand until you get plants established to break the wind.
Now, tell me.
Stand right here
Okay.
and talk about this soil and its adaptability for these watermelons.
You face it.
Well,
You face it.
Naturally, this soil is basically, Doniphan County, Missouri. This area that we have is some of the best soil to grow anything in this area.
Okay. And yes, this was probably under the river for centuries.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just like, of course, I'm from Kennett like you are too, and of course we're what, 2 miles from St. Francis River, so this was all swampland years ago. We've got 80 acres under plastic. Now we're going to have sweet corn on the other 80. It's a 160-acre farm here they bought.
Now, did we pass some sweet corn
Yes.
already up?
Yes. Yeah, I've got sweet corn over here on Riggs Farm in Missouri, and I'll take you back and show you that if you want
Okay,
to.
all right. Yeah, we'd like that.
Yeah.
Now then, what's he going to do? Just turn around and come back?
Well, actually, he's got to go down there and reload the planter.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So they're going to go down there and reload it with plants and more fertilizer, more chemical, and then he'll start right back through.
Okay. Now, that really beats 40 acres and a mule, doesn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely, every day.
How many acres can they plant a day?
Actually, 15 to 20 acres a day.
Really?
Yes.
6 rows at a time.
Well,
That is
three
amazing.
rows at a time. 3 rows. Yeah, we're only planting 3 rows at
Oh,
a time.
that's right. All right. There
But-
were 2 of them.
Yeah, they're going so fast, they can't put them in fast
Okay,
enough.
All right.
Of course, we've got this set on 18 inches apart. A lot of times we put watermelons, we'll go to 30 inches apart, space them farther apart. Now, when we're planting watermelons, we have to put 3 watermelon plants and then a pollinator, which is a seeded watermelon, to pollinate the seedless melons.
Oh,
It's like a
okay.
hybrid. They will not, they will not reproduce unless you add a mix of variety into it.
So you put 3 plants.
3 seedless plants and then a pollinator.
Now, why 3 seedless plants? Do
well-
all of them live?
Oh
Can
yes,
they really-
they'll all produce.
Okay.
But the 4th one will produce a seeded watermelon.
Okay, and what do you do then when you start bringing them in? How do you?
You can tell that they look totally different.
Okay, they're
Yeah.
bigger for one
Oh,
thing.
absolutely.
Under plastic, does the dry weather affect these at all?
Absolutely, but let me show you something here. We have plastic drip tape, and what we'll do, we'll pump water all the way from the end, all the way through this field, and this is like a soaker hose, as you would know at home.
Yep,
It's
yep.
drip tape, so we're pumping water underneath these beds all the time.
So they don't want for water the whole season.
Well, no, that's right. Once we get it established, get our irrigation hooked up, we can water these plants. And the advantage to this is, this keeps the weed control down. There's no water out here on the weeds, so we can water just the plants.
Oh, you say there's no weeds that can come up over there
No,
because
like
it's so dry. Then you can cultivate easier.
Yes. And like I say, once your plants get established out here, you can't. There's not a whole lot you can do with it. So what we do, we put a herbicide on it to kill the weeds outside the plastic, and then water just underneath the plastic. And
Now, when are these going to be ready? Tell me a time that they're going to be ready to bring in.
these will probably be ready 2nd week of July. That'd be my guess. Now, we have some we planted the 30th of March. We're anticipating being ready around the 15th of June.
And we got some watermelons that were already blooming.
Those
over
were
there.
cantaloupes.
Yeah, there were watermelons too.
Oh,
watermelons
yeah,
were
yeah. We've
blooming,
got we've got cantaloupes way ahead of watermelon. We started planting cantaloupes the 30th day of March this year.
Okay, now what about what season isn't there a critical season for watermelon when the prices are still good?
4th of July.
You want them for the 4th?
You want them for the 4th. And as a rule in this area, nobody plants watermelons or cantaloupes till after the 20th of April. So we started at the 30th of March, but this has been an exceptional year.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely warmer than ever. I mean, it's been drier than ever, driest April I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So we think we're going to be way ahead of schedule. I mean, absolutely way ahead.
This ought to be a good year, especially if you've got irrigation.
That's right. Yeah, without irrigation, you'll be in trouble this year.
They're already in trouble because we're dry. We're
watering
our garden.
We're 3.5 inches below our normal for April rains right now. So yeah, it's a. But like I said, we've got capabilities to water every bit of it. It's all under plastic. It's all hazardous. Everything we put out, we're looking at.
Did you say we could see some corn?
Yes, I'll show you some corn down the road here.
Okay.
Sure will.
All right,
sure
we'll go. So come with us. We're going to look for corn. Yeah. Now, it is the 27th of April, and I cannot believe that I am standing in a cornfield. You don't even plant till when?
Well, there's a lot of corn in the ground. You know, started planting here. Been a lot of corn put in the ground early this year because of the dry weather. This corn is actually started a little bit because of the wind and the sand. The sand gave us a little problem early, but now we've got a pretty good stand. Like I say, this is 80-acre field of sweet corn, all under the pivot.
Will this be one of the first corn patches in southeast Missouri?
But now, as far as sweet corn, we've probably got the earliest sweet corn in the country.
Okay,
around here.
When you get ready to harvest sweet corn, I understand you've got some big gadget called what, a mule train?
Called a mule train. And I hadn't seen it other than on video, but it's going to be something to see, and I want you all to be out here. I want you to see it because it's going to be
a mule train. I want to see it go in, and you know what? I think John Frey has been very innovative in maybe designing his own corn cooler.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, this is not the first one they've built, but as they've built more and more and more, then the one at Kennett is going to be top of the line. They're cutting no corners. It's going to be absolutely up to date. The finest there is. Like I say, they're here for the future. They're not here to come in here and fly and leave.
No, they're spending too much money in that building for that. Now, we want to get you with the mule train.
I want
You're
you to
going to give us a yell. Because
Sure
it'll
will.
be what, July 4th?
15th of June is what we're anticipating.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we were talking cantaloupe a while
Right,
ago, and you
right.
said.
We're
after
into
the 4th.
this crop right here. We're, you know, if everything holds right, the weather holds, we're anticipating around the 15th of June having this corn ready.
Right.
This corn's planted in stages. We plant 20 acres a day, 20 acres, and get it up and plant 20 more acres because this mule train will harvest 20 acres a day. It's all done by hand, but I mean the mule train is actually the machine that goes through the field, and it goes there and they pick it by hand, put it on there, box it up, put the boxes come out the back, and then it goes to the hydrocooler to cool it down.
Okay, so you've got to see this whole operation go in. Now, what else are you doing around here? I see some land not lying out.
This will be watermelons. This will be watermelons or cantaloupe, probably watermelons.
Now, when you utilize a drip tape, do you have to have a different pump? Can you use the same thing that?
Most of these we use a different pump. We put wells down. We've got 3 local people from Kennett that are putting wells down for us every day.
So you have to drill a well almost at every site. How deep do you have to go to get water?
40 feet. Well, you can get water about 20 feet in Kennett, but we're putting our wells down 40 feet. These wells.
Okay.
You know, we're going to have irrigation on every farm we've got. We have to have, and.
Isn't it a lot more expensive to put down plastic and tape or hose underneath than to run on overhead?
Absolutely, absolutely. But it seems like the watermelon and cantaloupe do better under drip tape.
Well,
I mean, they've done it around here for years with overhead irrigation.
Yeah.
I mean, it works fine. Sometimes on real hot weather, you get overhead water, it'll scorch the plants. But it seems like the drip tape works better for watermelons and cantaloupes.
Okay. Now, how many acres do you oversee?
Right at 1,000.
Really?
And we're going to have. Actually, we've got several local farmers that are growing products for us all as well. We've got several of them growing.
Now, is this land owned by Frey? Or
this land is owned by Frey.
Okay, so they've bought several acres.
They've bought almost 1,000 acres.
Oh, they have?
Bought and leased almost 1,000 acres. We have, I don't know exactly how many. We've got some local farmers that are growing sweet corn for us as well. We've got one other local farmer that's raising some watermelons for us as well.
So this is a huge operation.
Absolutely. I've dealt with watermelons for a long time, but 100 acres or 200 acres is one thing. You know, we're talking 400 acres of watermelons and 300 acres of cantaloupes this year, and over 500 acres of sweet corn. It's pretty overwhelming. It's going to be very impressive.
And I'm going to be very impressed. I'm interested in seeing this. We've been kind of watching the step-by-step progress of what they're putting in. I'm impressed with this cooler, hydro cooler.
I've been working with them since day one when John came down. We started measuring off the building to decide what we were going to do, and it's come a long way in a hurry.
All right, you're gonna let us know now.
Absolutely.
When you're going to harvest this with the mule train.
Absolutely.
All right, so you just stay with us. We probably won't be on the air through the summer months, but we'll show you when we get back on in August or September.